The return of the aliens for 500,000 years, Earth had been silent. The stars had shifted, empires had risen and fallen, but the memory of humanity still lingered in alien minds. Once, long ago, a curious fleet had visited Earth. They found fragile creatures who walked on two legs, proud of their small planet. These humans spoke boldly, telling the galaxy that one day they would become supreme. The aliens laughed at such arrogance. To them, humanity was nothing more than a spark bright for a moment, then destined to fade. Now, after 500,000 years, the aliens returned. Their fleet slid out of faster-than-light travel on the edge of the solar system. Massive ships, shaped like blades of silver, spread across the black sky. Inside the command ship, the alien high commander sat in silence. His many eyes focused on the view of the distant blue planet. "Earth," he whispered. "Still here." The officers on his bridge leaned closer to their screens. They expected a noisy world, the same chaos of radio waves they had recorded ages ago. But their scanners caught nothing. No chatter. No random signals. Earth was silent. "Have they died?" "Out?" one officer asked. "Impossible," another replied. "Look." The alien's claw tapped against the glass display. Strange energy patterns circled the planet. Invisible walls of power stretched into orbit, shimmering faintly like ripples. On water, the commander narrowed his eyes. "Shields," he said slowly. "The humans are not gone. They are hiding." A wave of unease filled the bridge. For 500 millennia, no alien race had dared settle in the solar system. It was called a cursed zone. The galaxy remembered humanity's boast, but never their fate. And now, it seemed Earth had prepared for something no one could understand. The fleet advanced, engines glowing like blue suns. Smaller scout ships broke formation and flew closer to the inner planets. Mars was lifeless, covered in machines buried beneath the red dust. Jupiter's moons shone with metal scars, as if something had carved deep tunnels inside them. And on Neptune's orbit, one scout detected movement. "Commander!" A voice cried out. "Something massive." "It's moving behind Neptune's shadow." The bridge froze. The commander stood, his tall frame casting a long shadow across the glowing deck. "Put it on screen." The image flickered. At first, they saw only darkness, then an outline. A structure so vast it covered the stars. It was not a natural rock, not a planet. It was built. A ring of steel and black crystal, spinning slowly in the dark. It hummed with energy older than their empire. Gasps filled the command deck. That was not here before," one officer whispered. The commander clenched his jaw. No, it was waiting. Silence pressed on them, heavy and suffocating. The scout ship sent another scan, but halfway through, its signal broke. A second later, the ship was gone. No explosion, no wreckage, just gone. Fear spread through the crew. They had faced countless enemies across the stars, but this was different. This was unknown. Then it happened. Every screen across the fleet flickered. Alien symbols dissolved into lines of static, and out of the static came ancient words, written in a language the aliens had almost forgotten. We were waiting. The bridge fell silent. Every officer turned pale. The commander's hearts beat hard inside his chest. He remembered the last words of those fragile humans 500,000 years ago. "One day, we will not just survive. We will rule." Now, staring at the shadow behind Neptune, he realized those words had not been a boast. They had been a promise, and humanity had kept it. The silence of Earth. The alien fleet drifted closer to the blue planet, but the silence grew heavier with every passing moment. Earth, once loud and full of signals, now gave nothing but stillness. No voices, no music, no signs of weak human life. From the command deck, the High Commander stared at the glowing sphere. His many eyes narrowed as he tried to understand. 500,000 years, he muttered. Yet Earth remains untouched. No empire claimed it. No colony lives here. Why? One officer leaned forward, claws shaking slightly. Perhaps the humans are extinct. But another officer hissed. No. Look at the energy waves. Something covers the planet. That is no natural barrier. The commander pressed a button, and the ship's sensors zoomed in. Everyone gasped. Around Earth, faint patterns glimmered like spiderwebs of light. A shield vast, perfect, unbroken. Extinct races do not build shields, the commander said coldly. A chill spread across the bridge. The fleet launched small drones toward the planet. They were fast, silent, designed to be invisible. But as they neared the shield, each one froze mid-flight. Their engines died, their signals cut. And then they simply vanished. No wreckage, no explosion. Just gone, as if swallowed by the air. The aliens whispered in fear. One brave officer turned to the commander. Perhaps we should leave. The commander's eyes burned. No. Humanity once dared to boast of supremacy. We came to see if that boast was hollow. We will not flee. The order was given, move closer. The fleet advanced into Earth's orbit. The blue oceans glistened beneath, clouds swirling peacefully. The planet looked alive, but there were no cities, no noise, no lights. It is too perfect, one officer whispered. Nature does not remain this untouched for 500,000 years. Suddenly, alarm screamed. One of the alien warships broke. Formation. It had crossed into low orbit, too close to the shield. The crew on the command ship watched in horror as the shield rippled. A wave of light moved across its surface. Then, without warning, the warship was crushed. Not by explosion, not by fire, by silence. The entire ship folded into itself, collapsing like paper, until nothing remained. The bridge shook with fear. They are watching us, an officer whispered. The commander tried to keep calm, but his claws dug into the arm of his chair. He looked at the silent blue world below and felt, for the first time in centuries, something he thought he had forgotten. Fear. And then it happened. Every ship in the fleet flickered with strange power. Their lights dimmed, their systems froze. The alien soldiers shouted as their screens went black. And then, across every monitor, words appeared. Simple words. Ancient words. Do you still doubt us? The bridge fell quiet. No one spoke. The words burned in their minds. One officer trembled. Commander, it is them. The humans. They are still here. A commander could not deny it. 500,000 years ago, humans had promised they would rise above all others. Now, with every ship frozen, with one warship destroyed by silence, that promise returned like a ghost. The commander swallowed hard. Signal them. Demand to speak. But before his crew could move, the message changed. You have come far, but not far enough. The bridge grew colder. The aliens looked at one another, realizing they were no longer the hunters. They were the prey. The commander's heart pounded in his chest. He stood slowly, staring down at the planet below. Humans, he whispered, his voice breaking. What have you become? No one answered. The silence of Earth was not empty. It was waiting. And the aliens knew they had walked into something far greater than they could understand. Asterisk. Humanity revealed. The alien fleet drifted in silence, their ships trembling in the shadow of Earth's shield. Every officer on the command deck could feel it, the weight of unseen eyes watching them. The High Commander tried to steady his voice. Send another signal. Demand they show themselves. The communication beams shot toward the planet, but instead of their own message, something else returned. The screens flickered with static, and then a voice spoke. It was calm. It was human. You wish to see us? Now you will. The aliens froze. The voice was not loud, not angry. It was steady, controlled, and it carried a power that chilled every heart. Then, across the blackness of space, the moon moved. The aliens gasped as vast sections of the lunar surface broke apart. What they thought were craters split open, revealing black steel beneath the dust. Enormous structures unfolded, rising into the dark like towers. Some grew wings of metal, others stretched into colossal weapons. The moon was not a rock, it was a fortress. Alarms rang across the alien fleet. "Commander," one officer cried, "the moon is alive." The commander's many eyes locked on the screen. He saw the truth. The humans had transformed their nearest satellite into a war machine of unimaginable scale. But that was not all. From the surface of Earth itself, oceans parted, mountains shifted, and vast constructs of silver and black rose into the sky. They were not simple machines, they looked alive, their bodies flowing with streams of light. The calm voice returned. "500,000 years ago, you doubted our words. You thought us fragile, unworthy. You believed we would vanish. You were wrong." One alien officer whispered, his throat dry. This is impossible. No race could survive this long." But the humans answered, as if hearing his fear. "We did not simply survive. We became more." Then, for the first time, the aliens saw them. Not the weak, flesh-bound creatures of old. Not the fragile bipeds who once struggled with fire and metal. The new humans emerged. Their bodies were tall, their forms a perfect blend of flesh and machine. Skin of silver light, eyes glowing like stars, voices resonating through every mind at once. They did not need ships, they moved through space itself, crossing the void without engines. An alien soldier screamed, clutching his head. "They are inside my mind." The commander felt it too. The humans were not just speaking. They were reaching directly into the thoughts of every alien, showing visions, images of their long journey. The aliens saw Earth burning, rebuilding, rising again. They saw humans merge with their machines, shaping themselves into something beyond flesh. They saw time itself bent, stars reshaped, galaxies mapped with precision. The visions ended. The humans stood before them in the void, silent, waiting. The commander's voice shook. "What do you want from us?" The leading human stepped forward. His eyes blazed with white fire. "What we wanted has already been achieved," he said. "We promised supremacy. We built it. We became it. Now you have returned to witness what you once mocked." A hush fell over the alien fleet. Their weapons seemed useless, their numbers meaningless. Against this new humanity, they were insects before a storm. One officer whispered in terror, "They are not human anymore. They are something greater." The commander's hearts pounded. He understood. Now, humanity had not lied. They had prepared, in silence, in patience, waiting for this very day, that the leading human's voice echoed one final time. "Kneel, or vanish." The void around them grew darker. Space itself bent, as if under humanity's control. The aliens had come to prove humanity's boast was empty. Instead, they had uncovered the truth. Earth had engineered supremacy, and no power in the galaxy could stand against it. Supremacy beyond imagination. The alien fleet held position, frozen between fear and disbelief. Around them, the moon shone like a fortress, and Earth glimmered behind its shield. The humans, if they could still be called humans, floated in the void, their glowing forms calm and silent. For a long moment, no one moved. The galaxy's most powerful warships stood ready, yet their crews trembled. The High Commander forced himself to speak. "Weapons, prepare to fire." The order broke the silence. Alien ships powered up, cannons glowing, missiles armed. The void lit with their fury. And then, nothing. The weapons did not fire. Every missile stayed in its chamber. Every cannon froze in silence. "Commander," an officer shouted, "our systems, they are locked." The crew scrambled to fix their controls, but no system obeyed. Then, one by one, their weapons dissolved. Missiles crumbled to dust inside their launch bays. Cannons bent and folded like clay. The galaxy's strongest arsenal vanished without a single shot. The humans had not moved. They had not raised a hand. They had simply willed it. Gasps filled. The bridge. The commander's voice cracked. How did they do that? As if answering, one of the glowing humans raised his hand. A nearby alien battleship twisted in the void. Its hull screamed as invisible pressure crushed it into a sphere no larger than a stone. Then it drifted away, silent and cold. No fire. No explosion. Just quiet destruction. The aliens stared in horror. "Impossible," whispered one officer. "They control gravity itself." But the humans were not finished. The stars themselves began to bend. The alien fleet's sensors screamed as space warped. Time slowed, then raced forward, then slowed again. Soldiers blinked and saw their own movements happening twice, as if reality itself was breaking. The humans spoke, their voices calm, echoing inside every mind. "For 500,000 years we learned. We changed. We became what you could never imagine." Another human stepped forward. His body glowed brighter than the sun, and with a single thought, he reached into the minds of the alien crew. Memories spilled like rivers, every secret, every fear, every moment of shame laid bare. Soldiers collapsed, clutching their heads, begging for the voices to stop. The commander stood tall, though his heart thundered with terror. "Stop this," he roared. "Show mercy." The human's eyes burned like fire. "Mercy?" he said softly. "Did you show us mercy when you mocked us? When you called us fragile? When you dismissed our promise?" The commander fell silent. He remembered. Their race had laughed at humans once. They had mocked Earth's dream of supremacy. And now, that mockery had returned as a blade. The humans stretched their hands wide. Space around the alien fleet bent once more. Dozens of ships flickered, their images splitting. For a moment, they were there. Then they were not. Erased from existence without sound, without flame, just gone. The surviving ships trembled. Crews wept. The strongest empire in the galaxy was nothing before these beings. The leading human spoke again. "You believed supremacy was arrogance. You were wrong. Supremacy is design. Supremacy is patience. Supremacy is us." The commander's knees weakened. He stared at the glowing figures, at the planet below, at the impossible power around them. He realized his fleet was not standing in battle. It was standing at judgment. "Kneel," the human said, voice echoing like thunder across the void. "Kneel, or vanish." Some alien captains did not wait. Their ships powered down, surrendering without resistance. Others tried to flee, engines burning bright. But the humans only raised their eyes, and the fleeing ships froze mid-flight, then shattered into particles of dust. The message was clear. There was no escape. The High Commander lowered his head. His pride burned, but his fear was stronger. "We kneel," he whispered. On every ship, alien soldiers bowed their heads. Entire fleets bent to humanity's will, and in that moment, the galaxy's balance broke. For 500,000 years, humans had been silent. Now, in a single moment, they proved the truth. They were not survivors. They were supremacy itself. Asterisk. The judgment of Earth, the alien fleets floated in silence, broken and trembling. Some ships powered down, their crews surrendering without resistance. Others had already been erased, turned into dust by forces beyond their understanding. The galaxies. Proudest warriors now bent, their heads before the children of Earth. But the humans were not quick to speak. They floated in the void, glowing like stars, their faces calm and unreadable. The silence stretched long, pressing on every alien heart. Until it became unbearable. At last, the leading human spoke. "For 500,000 years we prepared," he said. His voice was soft, but it carried across the void like thunder. Not to survive, not to endure, but to become more. The aliens listened, too afraid to interrupt. "When you first saw us," the human continued, "we were fragile. We were weak. You thought we would fade into history. Instead, we became history's end." The words sank deep. No alien could deny it. What floated before them was not simple humanity. It was something greater, something beyond measure. High Commander tried to find his voice. His pride was shattered, yet his duty remained. What will you do with us?" he asked. The human's eyes glowed brighter. "That depends." Every alien froze. "You stand before judgment." The human said, "Kneel and you will serve. Resist and you will vanish, as if you never were." Fear rippled through the alien ranks. The choice was clear yet unbearable. To kneel was to lose all pride, all freedom. To resist was to lose everything. Some captains shouted their surrender. They knelt at once, their ships dimming like candles. Others whispered curses under their breath, unwilling to bow. The humans did not wait long. With a wave of the hand, space bent around the rebels. Their ships folded, twisted, and disappeared into nothingness. No wreckage remained, no bodies, only silence. The lesson was final. The High Commander bowed his head. His voice broke as he spoke. "We kneel, we submit." The humans drifted closer. Their glowing forms passed among the alien ships, not as conquerors rushing for blood, but as judges inspecting their subjects. "You will carry our words to the stars," one human said. "Tell the galaxy what you saw. Tell them humanity was not a dream, not a boast, not a lie. Tell them we are the truth." The aliens shivered. They understood. This was not just victory. It was a warning. Humanity would no longer hide. There. Silence was over. The leading human turned his gaze to the blue planet below. Earth glowed behind its shield, peaceful yet terrifying. "We were silent for 500,000 years," he said. "Now the galaxy will hear our voice." A strange hum spread through the void. Alien scanners lit up, detecting signals moving faster than light itself. The humans were transmitting, not to one fleet, but to every corner of the galaxy. Across millions of worlds, ancient words appeared on screens and in minds. Humanity has returned. The aliens on the command ship trembled. They realized they were the first to see it, but not the last. The galaxy would soon know that supremacy was no longer a dream. It was real, and it had a name. The humans spoke one last time. "This is only the beginning." Then they vanished. The glowing forms dissolved into the stars, leaving nothing behind but silence. The alien fleet drifted in the shadow of Earth, broken and afraid. The High Commander fell into his chair, his many eyes wet with fear. He whispered to himself, "We came to test their boast. We found our gods." And far below, the Earth shone, calm and eternal, hiding secrets that no alien could ever hope to understand. For 500,000 years, humanity waited. Now the galaxy would never forget them again. Asterisk, the silent architects, unique continuation. The alien fleet retreated, broken and humbled. They carried humanity's warning across the stars, and soon the galaxy trembled. Entire empires fell too. Silence, waiting for Earth's next move. Some swore loyalty, before even seeing the humans themselves. Others whispered of escape, of hiding in the deepest corners of space. But Earth remained quiet. The humans who had appeared in glowing forms did not spread across the stars. They did not send armies nor fleets. They simply vanished after their declaration, leaving only fear behind. Weeks passed, then months. Still, no human ships were seen leaving the solar system. No armies marched. No conquests began. The galaxy began to wonder, what did humanity truly want? One alien scholar searched the ancient archives. He found the first records of humanity when they were young, when they first spoke of supremacy. He found something. Strange symbols hidden in their earliest transmissions. Patterns so complex they were dismissed as noise. But now, 500,000 years later, he looked again. The patterns matched. Every human message, from the very beginning, contained pieces of a design, not words, not boasts. A map. When the scholar revealed this, fear spread again. The galaxy realized humanity's silence was not rest. It was work. They had been building something for 500,000 years. And then, one day, across the stars, every machine, every screen, every ship flickered at once. A single message appeared. The architects are ready. No one knew what it meant. But in the dark void near Earth, beyond the shadow of the fortress moon, something stirred. Something vast. Something older than every empire combined. It was not a ship. It was not a weapon. It was a design. The galaxy held its breath. For the first time in history, even the greatest empires realized they were not players. They were not rivals. They were not enemies. They were pieces on a board humanity had drawn long before they were born. And Earth, silent and eternal, waited for the final move. The architect's design, unique continuation. The galaxy trembled. Entire civilizations whispered the same question. What are the architects? The aliens who had seen Earth firsthand gave their warnings. They spoke of glowing humans who controlled gravity, erased fleets, and judged entire empires with a glance. But now the galaxy realized that was only the surface. For 500,000 years, humanity had not been preparing for war. They had been preparing for creation. Near the solar system's edge, telescopes caught the first signs. Stars around Earth began to shift. Not explode, not collapse, shift, as if invisible hands moved them into place. Whole constellations bent into new shapes, perfect patterns no natural universe would ever make. The galaxy panicked. Armadas launched toward the solar system, desperate to stop what was happening. But the moment they crossed into the outer edges of human space, their ships froze in time. Crews screamed, trapped in loops of seconds, living the same heartbeat again and again until their minds broke. None returned. The message spread. Humanity controlled not only space, but time. On Earth itself, something vast awakened. The oceans glowed, pulsing with light as if the planet's heartbeat had returned. Mountains shifted, aligning into strange symbols only visible from orbit. A shield around Earth stretched wider, no longer a barrier around one planet, but a web stretching to the edges of the system. The High Commander, who once mocked humanity, now stared at the reports with hollow eyes. He whispered, "They are not just supreme. They are rewriting the galaxy." And then the signal came. Across every world, every ship, every mind, humanity's voice returned. You thought supremacy was the end. It is only the beginning. We are not rulers. We are not conquerors. We are architects. The galaxy held its breath. The universe was broken. We will fix it. Across the stars, black voids opened gateways built by human hands, linking distant galaxies in an instant. Planets shivered as new suns ignited, born in moments from nothing. Old stars were shifted like chess pieces, placed in perfect balance. Aliens realized the truth too late. Humanity was not aiming to dominate their empires. Humanity was building something far larger, a designed universe. For the first time, every empire, every species, every ruler felt it deep inside. They were not the center of history. They were not even the writers of it. They were only characters in a story humanity had begun 500,000 years ago, and the final words of Earth's message burned into their minds. Unshakable, eternal. We were never boasting. We were becoming. And now, so will you. The galaxy understood. They would not be destroyed. They would be reshaped. The judgment was not death. The judgment was destiny. Asterisk.